Crouse Hinds Speed Seal is a two-part epoxy resin and hardener system designed for sealing electrical connections and components in harsh environments. It is engineered for quick and easy mixing and application, boasting a fast curing time. Key features of Speed Seal include self-mixing, which eliminates the need for separate mixing equipment, a quick cure time that allows it to sit in as little as 5 minutes, excellent adhesion to a wide range of surfaces, moisture resistance to protect against humidity and water ingress, and electrical insulation that provides high dielectric strength. Speed Seal finds applications in sealing cable and wire connections, protecting terminals and connectors, encapsulating electrical components, and repairing and insulating equipment. Now, let's turn our attention to the origin of the term Chico within the electrical industry. The precise origin is uncertain, but two potential explanations exist. Firstly, there's a possible Spanish influence. In Spanish, the word Chico translates to boy or young man. It is conceivable that the term initially referred to a young electrician or apprentice. Secondly, some speculate that Chico is an acronym. One suggestion is that it stands for connector insulation and coating, reflecting the intended use of these resins. Regardless of its true origin, over time, Chico has evolved into a generic term used for epoxy resin systems specifically used in electrical applications, without necessarily referencing any specific original meaning. To elaborate further on epoxy resins, these are thermosetting polymers that are widely used in electrical applications due to their excellent electrical insulation properties, mechanical strength, and chemical resistance. They are typically formed by mixing two components, a resin and a hardener, which then undergo a chemical reaction to create a solid, durable material. The specific formulation of an epoxy resin can be tailored to meet the requirements of different applications, such as varying the curing time, flexibility, or resistance to specific chemicals. Electrical connections are often points of vulnerability in electrical systems, susceptible to corrosion, moisture ingress, and mechanical stress. Sealing these connections with epoxy resins like Speed Seal provides a protective barrier against these environmental factors, ensuring reliable and long-lasting performance. In addition, epoxy resins can be used to encapsulate electrical components, providing physical protection and electrical insulation. This is particularly important in harsh environments where components may be exposed to extreme temperatures, vibrations, or corrosive substances. When repairing electrical equipment, epoxy resins can be used to fill cracks, repair damaged insulation, and reinforce weakened structures. This can extend the lifespan of equipment and prevent costly replacements. When selecting an epoxy resin for a specific electrical application, it is important to consider several factors, including the required electrical properties such as dielectric strength and insulation resistance, the operating temperature range, the chemical resistance requirements, the mechanical strength needed, and the ease of application. Some epoxy resins may require specialized mixing equipment or techniques, while others can be easily applied by hand. The curing time is also an important consideration, as it will affect the time required to complete the repair or installation. For example, a fast-curing epoxy resin like Speed Seal may be preferred in situations where downtime needs to be minimized. In addition to epoxy resins, there are other types of sealing compounds that can be used in electrical applications, such as silicone sealants, polyurethane sealants, and rubber compounds. Each type of sealant has its own advantages and disadvantages in terms of properties like temperature resistance, chemical resistance, and flexibility. The choice of sealant will depend on the specific requirements of the application. When working with epoxy resins and other sealing compounds, it is important to follow the manufacturer's instructions carefully. This includes using the correct mixing ratios, applying the sealant in a well-ventilated area, and wearing appropriate personal protective equipment such as gloves and eye protection. Some epoxy resins may contain chemicals that can cause skin irritation or allergic reactions. In summary, Crouse Hinds Speed Seal is a valuable tool for electrical professionals who need to seal and protect electrical connections and components in harsh environments. Its self-mixing, quick curing, and excellent adhesion properties make it a convenient and reliable solution for a wide range of applications. The term Chico, while of uncertain origin, has become a widely recognized term for epoxy resin systems used in the electrical industry. When working with any electrical materials, including epoxy resins, safety is always paramount. Ensure that all electrical circuits are energized before beginning any work. Use appropriate personal protective equipment, and follow all applicable electrical codes and regulations. This will help to prevent accidents and ensure that the electrical system is safe and reliable. Understanding the properties and applications of epoxy resins is essential for electrical professionals who need to select the right materials for their projects. By carefully considering the requirements of the application and following the manufacturer's instructions, you can ensure that electrical connections and components are properly sealed and protected. Furthermore, continuous learning and staying updated with the latest industry practices and technologies are crucial for maintaining competence and safety in the field of electrical work. Regular training courses, seminars, and industry publications can provide valuable insights into new materials, techniques, and regulations. Consider also the importance of proper documentation. Maintaining detailed records of all electrical work, including the types of materials used, the installation procedures followed, and any testing results obtained, can be valuable for future maintenance, troubleshooting, and inspections. Such documentation can also serve as evidence of compliance with applicable codes and regulations. Electrical work is a critical and highly regulated field. Adhering to best practices and prioritizing safety are essential for protecting yourself, your colleagues, and the public. This includes proper planning, using the right tools and equipment, and following established procedures. Always consult with qualified professionals when dealing with complex or unfamiliar electrical systems. A deeper dive into the technical aspects of epoxy resins is warranted. These polymers, characterized by the presence of epoxide groups, undergo a curing process when mixed with a hardener, forming a cross-linked network that provides exceptional strength, adhesion, and resistance to various environmental factors. The specific properties of an epoxy resin can be tailored by modifying its chemical structure and composition, allowing for a wide range of applications in the electrical industry. For instance, some epoxy resins are formulated with high dielectric strength to provide excellent electrical insulation, while others are designed with enhanced thermal conductivity to dissipate heat from electronic components. The curing process of epoxy resins is also a critical aspect to consider. The rate of curing can be influenced by factors such as temperature, humidity, and the type of hardener used. Some epoxy resins require elevated temperatures to cure properly, while others can cure at room temperature. It is important to follow the manufacturer's instructions carefully to ensure that the epoxy resin cures completely and achieves its desired properties. Moreover, the adhesion of epoxy resins to different substrates is another important factor to consider. Epoxy resins typically exhibit excellent adhesion to a wide range of materials, including metals, plastics, and ceramics. However, surface preparation is often necessary to ensure optimal adhesion. This may involve cleaning the surface to remove dirt, grease, and other contaminants, as well as roughening the surface to increase the contact area. In addition to their use in sealing and encapsulating electrical components, epoxy resins are also used in the manufacture of printed circuit boards, electrical insulators, and other electrical equipment. Their versatility and excellent properties make them an indispensable material in the electrical industry. It is also important to be aware of the potential hazards associated with working with epoxy resins. Some epoxy resins may contain chemicals that can cause skin irritation, allergic reactions, or respiratory problems. It is essential to wear appropriate personal protective equipment, such as gloves, eye protection, and respirators when handling epoxy resins. Also, work in a well-ventilated area to avoid inhaling harmful vapors. Dispose of epoxy resin waste properly, following all applicable regulations. In conclusion, Crouse Hinds Speed Seal represents a modern solution for electrical sealing needs, and understanding the underlying chemistry and properties of epoxy resins is crucial for selecting and using them effectively. The term Chico, while its origin remains somewhat ambiguous, serves as a reminder of the evolution of terminology within the electrical trade. Staying informed about the latest technologies, materials, and safety practices is essential for electrical professionals to provide safe, reliable, and high-quality services. The evolution of materials like epoxy resins has allowed for advancements in electrical systems, providing greater protection, durability, and performance. As technology continues to evolve, new materials and techniques will undoubtedly emerge, further enhancing the capabilities of electrical systems. Electrical engineers and technicians must remain adaptable and embrace these advancements to stay at the forefront of their field.